Alright, in my hands right now is MIDI Fighter Twister. At first glance, just knobs, MIDI controller with the knobs, but I think it's the best knobs to work with the digital audio workstation of your choice. My choice is Loopy Pro, so I hook it up to iPad, and I think it's the best not only for the studio but mainly for the stage, for live performances. And in this video let me show you why I think so. Reason number one is endless rotary encoders with the LED indicators. This is probably the most important feature. Let's say you're using old style knobs and you perform your first song, so you need to set all the knobs for the first song, and probably you need to remember all the positions, right? Then you need to set it up for the next song and probably just manually set the positions for the knobs. But with this style of LED indicators, you always in sync with your project. You just hit one button to recall all the positions, all the knobs for the first song, and you're ready to go. Hit another button, recall all the positions for the next song, and here we are. All the knob positions update instantly, and the late rings show you exactly where everything is. This also works with automation. For example, in Loopy Pro, I can set up a follow action. Let's say after the first loop is recorded, I'd like to slowly cut the trebles, applying a low-pass filter. And here you can see the LED ring indicating the filter. The knob doesn't physically move, right? There's no motors here, but visual feedback is here, and it's really useful. So let me show you another example with the delay. I've seen a similar concept before in guitar pedal world. For example, this 1000 euros reverb pedal, which also recalls parameter positions depending on the preset, but it's just a reverb. Here it's anything you assign to it in your project. There are some competitors in MIDI controller world. There is rotary control, which does have motorized knobs, but it's more expensive, heavier, and only has 8 knobs. And it feels like it's more studio unit. There's also the Behringer X-Touch Mini, also just 8 knobs, the same. It feels like made for studio, not for stage use. It uses a micro USB port instead of USB-B port. Here it feels really robust, but we'll talk about build quality later. Before I move on, quick disclaimer. I actually reached out to manufacturer TJ Tools myself, asked for the unit, because on paper it looked like a perfect device for me to use with the Loopy Pro. They sent it over, no strings attached, and after 6 months of quite heavy use, I'm still very happy with it. They also send me this guy. It's MIDI Fighter Spectra. I'll talk about it in the end as a bonus. So, just for your information. Reason number 2, push-to-click knobs. Each encoder is also a button, which means you can assign a separate action when you press it. For example, press to trigger effect, press to open a plugin's interface, press to reset the knob, and you can reset it to a minimum position or to 12 o'clock position. It's useful for something like a balance or filter. actually with Loopy Pro you can assign not only single tap, but also double tap for another action, hold for yet another action, but I'd like to keep it simple, especially on stage. Also, you can toggle between two parameters, let's say green parameter and red parameter, and you can toggle with one press or hold, adjust red parameter and release, go back to green parameter. For example, here I'm toggling between two oscillators on my iPad's synth, voice 1 and voice 2. So you can control two different parameters with one knob. For example, metronome volume and project tempo, or reverb size and mix, delay feedback and trebles in the tail. Up to you. And actually we have even more buttons. We have extra 3 buttons here and here. And there are 4 banks. And we can use middle buttons to scroll through banks. Some kind of soft touch buttons, really like them. So overall quality of this device is amazing. Chunky in a good way. Really grippy knobs with enough space between them. We can easily replace these cups. I think it's some kind of Roland SP404 style, so it's really easy to clean. Heavy duty USB-B port, cable fits tight, secure, feels like proper stage device. I originally got this controller to use with DJ style effects, which I built inside Loopy Pro with the Koala Effects plugin, and I used those for my lo-fi jam setups. Now let's talk about how it works with Loopy Pro. When you connect any MIDI controller to Loopy Pro, you normally need to manually map each knob. But there's a small list of controllers that already have official presets from the Loopy Pro developer. The Twister is one of them. What it gives to you: loops get automatically assigned to knobs. You can record dub, stop, start loops with the one press. The LED ring shows the playhead position, and you still can customize all of this stuff. And since Loopy Pro supports background audio, you can lock the screen of your iPad or iPhone, put it away, and the whole system will still run. So you can just control it with your controller. The bonus I've promised, MIDI Fighter Spectra. It's just 16 arcade-style buttons, so really easy to press. Unfortunately, they are not velocity sensitive, but they are really easy to play with, and it's just the same housing, same chunky style, really nice device to play with. I also made a detailed video breakdown, shared it on my Patreon page. If you'd like to check it out, the link is down below. By the way, if you're new to Loopy Pro, I have a lot of videos on this channel about this piece of software, and I got educational courses on my website. It's nice that each knob has this LED indicator, but still, I think the best way to use it to label them. So it's 16 knobs, a lot of knobs to remember, especially on stage. So easiest just to use tape and label all the knobs. I really appreciate the visual feedback for the loops, so you can see recording or it's playing, playhead. I wish there was something like this with a floor, like floor MIDI controller with this level of integration with Loopy Pro, this level of feedback. Yeah, I wish. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with how it works with the Loopy Pro. I mapped those knobs to low pass, high pass filter, sound effects, metronome volume for my in-ears on stage. If you'd like to see how it all works together, there is a live performance video on my channel. Like, subscribe, feel free to comment. I'll leave all the links in the description. And thanks for watching. See you.